My name is Alex Drapo. I'm the ag-robotic technician for agritech Robotic down in Ontario. They're the distributor for the Oz robot, which is a farming assistant used for weeding, seeding, and making furrows on vegetable farms, usually more small scale. The Oz robot is a fully electric robot. It uses GPS RTK for navigation, so it knows where the rows are with the GPS data. It's also fully autonomous, so there's no need for any input once it gets going. The GPS RTK technology has accuracy up to 20 millimeters, which is very precise. Also, the autonomy for the Oz robot can be up to 8 hours. The top speed for the Oz robot right now is 1.8 kilometers an hour, and that will cover a tenth of an hectare in an hour. So the robot uses universal tooling, so anything that goes under a wheeled hoe will also fit generally on the Oz robot. So there's no tool that are specifically made for the Oz. You can really use whatever fits your farming style and your soil. Some of the tools that can be attached to the Oz robot are finger weeders, tine harrows, torsion spring, brushes, but also seeders and transplanters. It's a really good, efficient tool for weeding, especially smaller seeds, because the Oz won't have the same power as a tractor or a human. Because of the autonomy and the low cost of operation, you can really have it in the field every day and just control the smaller weeds, because that's where it shines. It won't save your field once it gets full of bigger weeds, but if you're on it, the Oz will save you a lot of trouble. We've noticed a couple of good strengths and also challenges for the Oz robot. Soil types are really important. Denser soils that are more hard-packed will be a bit harder to weed just because of the lack of strength of the robot and the slower speed compared to a tractor.
My name is Ariella Falkowski. I'm the farm manager at Root Down Organic Farm in Pemberton, BC. My exposure to autonomous farm equipment has been very little. I think the reason for that is just the size and scale of farm that I've typically either worked on or run has been quite small, and so far nothing has felt to be an appropriate scale for the smaller to medium mixed vegetable farm. My initial thoughts when I saw the Oz robot was that it was pretty cool. It seemed to be doing a pretty good job. It looked like kind of challenging conditions for it to be weeding in. A little bit grassy, a little bit moist, and it still seemed to be doing a pretty good job. So it was interesting to see. I think one of the main ways that the Oz could benefit a farm of our size is just helping cut labor costs. Labor costs are really high for small mixed organic vegetable farms. I also think that labor costs are going up even faster than other costs as we try to stay competitive and pay people a wage that they can live on. And it's also just getting harder to find people that want to do the work, so regardless of the wage. So that's probably the biggest place I see it benefiting a small farm. But another benefit I see to the Oz is that it's electric. It would be a really nice feature to sort of cut fossil fuel use on a farm. I think the biggest challenge that I would foresee with the Oz could be tech issues going wrong. The more complicated things are, the harder they are to fix yourself. And if we were ever to want to employ or use something like the Oz robot, we would have to change a lot of our layout and crop spacing and put some thought into that. Another potential challenge I just thought of with using that sort of technology is that we are sort of on the edge of reliable reception sometimes, and just not sure if that would cause issues for us if we were to try to use something that uses GPS. Having seen the Oz and having experienced certain challenges in farming as of late, such as labor shortages and things like that, it certainly seems a little bit more interesting or something that might come into play in the future for us.